Okay, this is number 12. Match the point and polar coordinates with either A, B, C, or D. If we look here, the radius r is negative, and so is the angle. So when you have a negative radius, the first things we're going to do is we're going to plot positive r comma theta. So r is 3 comma negative pi over 3. So I'm on the third ring here, negative pi over 3, that puts me in this quadrant here. So right now I'm at D. Okay, now because I have the negative radius, I have to go 180 degrees away from D. So 180 degrees away makes a straight line or straight angle. So therefore my answer is B as in boy in quadrant 2 there. Okay, so that's number 12. 13. 13 reads, the polar coordinates of a point are given. Find the rectangular coordinates of the point. So the polar coordinates are negative 5, comma, 3 pi over 4. So remember, this is r and this is theta. I want to turn this into x and y. So I know that x equals r cosine theta, y equals r sine theta. So x equals negative 5 times cosine of 3 pi over 4. So x equals negative 5 cosine at 3 pi over 4. 3 pi over 4 is in quad 2, where cosine is negative. So this is negative radical 2 over 2. So x equals positive 5 radical 2 over 2. Okay, let's do y. So y equals r sine theta, so negative 5 times sine of 3 pi over 4. Sine at 3 pi over 4 is positive, so this is negative 5 times radical 2 over 2. So this is negative 5 radical 2 over 2 for my y value. So to put the pieces together, I now just have to write this as a coordinate, x comma y. So again, x is 5 radical 2 over 2, and y is negative 5 radical 2 over 2. And that is my answer. Number 14. 14 says the rectangular coordinates of a point are given. Find the polar coordinates. So we have x, which is negative 5, and y, which is positive 5. Remember, we want r and theta. So r is equivalent to the square root of x squared plus y squared. And theta is given to inverse tangent of y over x, and this is for quads 1 and quad 4. So the first things first is I got to figure out what the heck quad I'm in. So negative 5, positive 5 would be over here. So I'm in quad 2. So therefore, if I'm in quad 2, I'm going to have to add 180 degrees or pi to whatever answer I get when I find theta. Okay? So if you're in quad 2 and 3, you have to add 180 degrees if you're in degrees, or pi if you're in radians. Okay, so let's go after r. Square root of negative 5, which is x squared, plus positive 5, which is y squared. So this becomes 25 plus 25 under the radical, which is the square root of 50. Okay, so r is good. Now theta, inverse tangent of y, which is positive 5, over negative 5, which is x. When I do that, I get a negative 1. And I know that where that is in kind of like quadrant 4, but it's actually, the answer is negative pi over 4. Okay? Now remember, since I'm doing this in radians, I'm going to have to add pi to it to get my answer to go into quadrant 2. So negative pi over 4 plus 4 pi over 4 equals 3 pi over 4. That is the quadrant 2 angle. Okay? So remember, in in polar coordinates, it's r theta. So remember, r is the square root of 50, comma, 3 pi over 4. Done. Okay, and that was question 14. let's move on to 15. Okay, so 15 says the letters x and y represent rectangular coordinates. Write the equation using polar coordinates r and theta. So the equation they give you is x squared plus 4y squared equals 4. Okay? Now, again, I want this in r and theta. Okay. So I can say that r squared equals x squared plus y squared. You know, that's a possibility. So what I'm going to do is write this as 2 squared. That might help a little bit. Okay. Sorry, I'm actually going to start the next video on this because I'm looking through it and it's going to take me a little bit of time to do. So again, I'm going to stop the video right now and I'll start up with 15, okay? All right, I'm going to stop here and move forward.